perhaps rather fascinatingly, we're now seeing mainstream media, or at the very least marginally mainstream media adjacent, whatever you want to call it, lambasting Disney, saying the things we've said for many months, if not years now, which is that people just don't care. They've done too much. They've done too much too soon. They've pushed it. They pushed it too far. Now, this may all be an element of mainstream media or mainstream media adjacent jumping on what they see as Disney in a sort of a death spiral. And now they can sort of lift their heads above the parapet and be like, yep, we said this all along, or, oh, this is a revelation. Or they could genuinely actually just be late to the party and mean what they're saying. So let's dive into this. Please do hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. And if you like what I do, I have a Patreon. You can have access to exclusive content. It's linked down below in the description box. But I've just uploaded Doom the Dark Ages Chapter 4 down there. So check it out. Again, it's linked in the description box. As is my shop. I have a personal shop where I sell quite unique items. Ones which are actually handmade as well, believe it or not. Check it out in the description box down below. Grab some awesome stuff and support me. But anyway, people don't care now. Now, this came from the Wrap, right? So it's obviously all behind a paywall. We're going to be looking at essentially like a summary of this. But it's interesting. It's really interesting. They've sort of spoken with, a whole host of sources and sort of come up with their own choice and sort of outlook on this. But the bottom line is that they have done insane damage to their own brand. Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, Pixar, etc. They've tried to basically, they flooded the market and cannibalized their own appeal. Into nothingness, actually. So, last month, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige talked candidly about how Disney has devalued the MCU brand. As he put it, quote, "It was just too much. It was a big company push, and it doesn't take too much to push us to go. There was a mandate that we were put in the middle of. Disney wanted more content for its newly launched streaming platform, and Marvel Studios jumped at the chance to finally bring characters like Moon Knight and She-Hulk to our screens. The mandate also allowed Kevin Feige to turn the spotlight to supporting players Loki, the Scarlet Witch, a new Captain America, and more. And also they used that as a way to subvert the franchise and swap characters out. Captain America. Loki. They were trying to at one point. Still don't know what's going to happen with that. Then you also had... a whole host of bits and pieces. I mean, they do this all the time. I can't remember the last one. There was another one. Oh, Hawkeye. There was clearly a plan there to swap Hawkeye out as well for a woman. So they were really trying to subvert things. So things started well, but interest has waned in both the studio's movies and TV shows. That's led to fewer ticket sales, and according to the Wrap, a loss of 700,000 subscribers for Disney Plus in the first quarter of 2025. That's mad. That's pretty big. That is pretty big. So this comes from a piece exploring what Disney's streaming expansion has done to Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar, with one producer with franchise experience telling the trade, given the quality of the Marvel Disney Plus output has been incredibly mediocre, it's dragged the entire brand down and diluted its creative. People don't care now. Now, some of this is bad typos. Creativity, I'm guessing. People don't care. I mean, yeah, people don't care now. That is true. I mean, this is pretty bold of a mainstream media outlet to lambast them like they are. So another marketing executive has noted, quote, "When you went to a Star Wars movie, it used to be special. But there's a difference between let's have a movie every 4 years versus Let's have 3 shows on the air all the time and have a movie every year. Yep. By moving things to the small screen, you have devalued your product. When something is easily accessible, it's no longer valuable. Alright? It's just not. This could be applied to everything. Your woman, if everyone's had her, I hate to break it to you, if she's the local bike, yeah, no, she's just a gross hoe, man. Like, no one wants that. Find this incredibly attractive woman that basically no one's been with. Yeah, that's valuable. A country you can not gain citizenship to that has high wealth, high earning potential. If you can gain citizenship to that, that's something to be applauded. Alright, you devalue things by making it common. Obviously. Well, obvious to anyone with a brain anyway. Lucasfilm appears to have learned from that, at least because aside from Ahsoka Season 2, there are no other Star Wars TV shows on the way. Several movies, starting with The Mandalorian and Grogu, are heading to theatres though. Which, that's them trying to keep it afloat, I guess. So back to Marvel. And Dave Gonzalez, the co-author of MCU The Reign of Marvel Studios, said, quote, I do think that it has eroded the branding. All of the sub-brands have been eroded. They were finally getting to do what they wanted to. Put everything in development. Marvel remade how they made franchise movies. But they thought they could do the same thing with television. You can't. They think they're more nimble than they actually are. Yeah, they basically think that their shit doesn't stink. And they're super smart, and they're really not. So he later explained that by making TV shows like movies, series such as WandaVision were costing hundreds of millions of dollars. And Pixar has suffered most. But even with a handful of live-action Disney movies like Lady and the Tramp and Pinocchio premiering on Disney+, Walt Disney Studios and Disney Animation have remained largely unaffected. Helping matters, of course, is that those brands have not been as heavily pushed on people across Disney+ over the past 6 years since Disney+ launched, but they have the others. So now it's down to Disney to rehabilitate the biggest brands. As noted, that's already started with Star Wars, whilst Marvel Studios is attempting to do the same. Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four First Steps have faced issues at the box office, but have received positive reviews. And the plan from next year is for us to get 1 or 2 TV shows a year that are largely unconnected to what's happening in theatres. I actually don't think they're going to come back from this. I've sort of tried to play devil's advocate a little bit when I've been talking about Fantastic Four, and I've said Fantastic Four could be them trying to build the brand back up, which is kind of what they've said here. But I don't think they're going to come back from this. I do think the brand damage and the devaluing of everything that they used to have is done. I think the damage is done. So there you go. I don't have much else to say. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.